So this video will be about troubleshooting dynamic routing protocols. Well, we already know that when we go to the, close this one out, when we go to the LDR, I was already there. When we go to the LDR, we can go to routing and we can see OSPF, BGP, static routes, and routing distribution here. And if we go to the ESG, we can see the same routing, but we can see ISIS also here. So OSPF, BGP, ISIS, and route distribution and static routes. So the difference between the other one and this one is that this one can do ISIS and the other one can't. But they both support OSPF, BGP, and static routes and the redistribution of those. Well, in order to troubleshoot these things here, we can do, for example, well, we at least need to go to the LDR, to the console, and in the console we can we can verify our neighbors. So right now with the LDR, I don't think I have, well, I think I only have one OSPF neighbor. Let's open the other one as well. Let's open the first ESG. I think everything's connected to that host at the moment and configured. So let's do, for example, let's show the active neighbors. Let's go to show IP OSPF neighbor. And we can see here that I have, wow, 4 neighbors. Well, yeah, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 neighbors. I have 4 OSPF neighbors here. So let's see how many BGP neighbors I have. And here you can see I only have 1 BGP neighbor, which is up. And this is all the information regarding that neighbor. Let's go to ISIS. And with ISIS I also have 4 neighbors, which are actually 2, but it's setting up layer 1 and type layer 2 and a type layer 1 neighbor, and it sees that as a separate, well, neighborship statement, but it's actually one host. So it's setting ISIS with the system ID ending with 002 and ISIS ending with the system ID 003. So that's how we verify the active neighbors. So we can also see the dynamic routes that are currently installed. If we go to show IP route, we can see them all in one go. But for a specific BGP, for example, we can do show IP route BGP. And from this table we can derive that the 192.168.120.0 network can be learned, or is learned, through this interface here. So this is for BGP specific. We can also do the same for OSPF, and we can do the same for ISIS. Here we can see all different routes that I received from OSPF, and we can see that I'm receiving a default from somewhere, and also a few specifics from different areas as well. And So and also for ISIS, you can see that I'm receiving, well, different ISIS routes, all level 1 routes. So if we want to see what interfaces are currently, well, bounded to a specific protocol, for BGP we haven't got one, but for OSPF we have. So if we do show IP OSPF, we can see a lot of information here. We can see the backbone area, the other area 51, which is default. I think there was a command. No, let's forget about it. So show ISIS interface is also one of the commands, and you can see here that is well, that VCIX-3 is using it. Let me go back to OSPF. Well, my console here is a little bit too small, which is a shame. Otherwise, I would have probably seen the interface. Anyway, let's continue. We can also show the link state databases for OSPF and ISIS. That command is also very easy. Show ISIS database, where we can see, well, all different information regarding the LSP, sequence numbering and the checksums, and the hold time. Let's go do the same for OSPF. Basically all those different type of information that you probably need during troubleshooting, but if stuff works, it works, right? So well, we can also detect failures. For example, when we go to the ESG, and let's go to OSPF, for example, we can go to the global configuration, and in the global configuration we can see that logging is disabled here. Well, we can kind of enable that, and we can set that to, well, let's leave it to info. Hit OK. So it will send all the logging to the console if we debug, or it will shoot it off to the logging server that we have. I thought that I did enable logging. Let's hit publish changes, and right now logging is enabled here. Let's do the same for the well, logging is enabled for this specific for the dynamic routing protocols. So logging was already enabled for this box itself. We did that in the settings here in configuration, and we added a syslog server here, and yeah, and right now it's also enabled logging for the routing feature. So let's do the same for the LDR as well. And the LDR is only talking OSPF from the top of my head with the ESG, and the ESG is doing all the rest of the hard work. Let's go to routing and to the global configuration of routing, and let's set the log level to info again and enable it if it's not enabled. Yeah, OSPF is only enabled here. Let's edit, enable logging, let's hit OK, publish. Now logging is enabled for routing. We can, for example, do something funny here. We can go to, let's go to the other ESG because that has more routing connections. For example, when you go to routing, you can go to OSPF, and let's do a quick verification here, just a quick test. So I have OSPF to one of my physical devices here. I can edit that, and for example, for area 0, let's configure authentication on area 0, which I don't have. I don't have out. Let's hit OK. Let's hit publish. Right now I've configured authentication here, and I've set a password for this device itself, and the other devices, the other OSPF devices, doesn't have any authentication, so it'll probably fail, right? So let's do a let's do edit. Let's hit enable OSPF, publish. Right now OSPF is disabled, and let's enable it again just to verify, and let's hit edit and enable it again, publish, and we can go to this device here and do a show log reverse. and here you will see packet received with unexpected authentication type 0. That means that, well, from the logging we can see that the authentication was not correct. Okay, so this is just one simple test that we can do to verify if logging is working. Let me change it back because I don't want to break things. Let's go to area 0, none, okay, publish, there you go. Stuff will return back to normal again. What we can also do is enable debugging in the console itself. So right now I just did a log reverse, but we can do a debug, and we can do a debug for OSPF. And it will show you all the log messages as well. We can, of course, not sure how to turn off debug right now. Oh yeah, the command for it's no debug IPOSPF. No debug IPOSPF. That was the command. No debug IPOSPF. I'm pretty sure that I'm doing it. Yeah, okay, no debug IPOSPF. So we can turn on debug for BGP as well, and we can turn on IS debug as well. And of course we can turn it off with no in between.